Good evening, good people. Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. And you've got the super team of sports talk here with y'all on one half of it. Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian. Here checking in with my main man, my partner in crime. They call him the 6 foot and under post-up champ. Tell these people who you are.
What's good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A and AA Sports, broadcasting live here on a Wednesday. Man, we've been talking about it for the last couple weeks and months, but it's here now. It is an actual football game that counts tomorrow. What's good?
Hey man, I can't call it. You're right. NFL Week 1 finally kicking off. Thursday night game tomorrow. Chicago will be hosting the Green Bay Packers in a division game right off the bat. I kind of like when they get them division games.
Yeah.
First couple of weeks and then the last couple of weeks of the season.
Yeah.
I like the way they do that. But good people, we appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Again, this is episode 185 of AA Sportscast, straight sports, no chaser. We appreciate y'all. No matter whether you support us on the YouTube platform, whether you view us there, or whether you listen to us on the go via Apple or Spreaker, either one of those podcast apps, we appreciate that as well. Continue to watch, like, hit those subscribe buttons, and share that content with whoever you see fit. Like my man Uncle Hate said, we're gonna it's week 1, so of course we got to have our week 1 picks. Me and Hate will continue our head-to-head challenge that we do each and every season. So we'll get to the picks last. But first we're gonna get into some other NFL news and notes. A lot happened since we came to y'all last week. At least a lot of people getting paid and moving locations, right?
Yeah, man. I guess we need to change the order around of these notes since these paydays came through. And I guess we should start off with the one that we've been waiting for all summer. Zeke Elliot got paid. And if you don't mind, I'd like to do something a little special here. I want to have a prayer. I want to have a prayer for Zeke.
Okay.
Dear Lord, I want you to protect Zeke while he's out here in these streets in that vet with $50 million guaranteed. Lord, please don't let Zeke be out there wilding. He ain't never seen this type of money, and I'm concerned about this young man, Lord. I'm concerned. You don't put that type of money in somebody's hands who's used to getting in trouble every summer. Just protect them, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen. You a fool. But yeah, unless you've been living under the rock for the last probably 12 hours or so, Zeke Elliot did come to an agreement with the Cowboys. It's a 6-year extension. I think about $90 million, $50 million of it guaranteed. Essentially, it's an 8-year. Basically, he's tied to the Cowboys for the next 8 years because he still has 2 years on his rookie deal. Now, of course, he may not see a lot of the back end of that money, but
how old is Zeke?
20,
24?
24, 25, give or take.
You might see all of this. They get rid of you at 30 unless he get hurt.
I'm just saying, let's just say he's 24 on the low end. 8 years, that still put him at 32.
Yeah, he won't see the last 2 years. You're right.
Depending on what those per year back cap hits are looking like, yeah, he might not see that money.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I think this is a win-win actually for both sides. We kept talking about how is Dallas going to pay all these people. And one way you can do it is stretch his money out over a course of a long, long time. Yeah. I myself don't really personally like these long deals. But at the running back position, I can kind of see it because, he guaranteed to get $50 million at least. So I think that's a win-win for him. And then the Cowboys get to keep their main guy.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. You rarely see this. Well, I can't say we rarely see it. Kirk Cousins just did it. If I'm Zeke, give me 3 years, $60 million fully guaranteed. Then I'm gonna knock y'all upside y'all head in 3 more years. What's wrong with taking? Well, he still would have had 5 years in that case because he still got 2 left. But yeah, this 8-year deal essentially, this is them old NBA deals. You remember Shaq and them? You signed 8 to 10 years.
Right.
I would have rather the shorter deal if it was me. But you know, if this is where you want to be and they paid him, just ain't it funny how Jerry and them been waging war in the media saying all this shit that they weren't gonna do and end up
Right.
doing it all.
Right. We're not going to reset the market. We're not trying to make highest paid number one or whatever, but we're willing to do top five. And essentially, Zeke got basically $5 million more guaranteed than Todd Gurley did. So we'll see how the rest of it plays out as far as per year average and how that goes. But long and short, Zeke got his bread.
Yeah.
He should be suited up week one. I'm assuming somewhere around 15 touches, 10 to 15 touches.
15 to 20. You know, he'll get it in. You know, I haven't seen him on TV or anything. He look like he in shape.
I haven't seen him either.
So I mean, it's hot in Mexico, so hopefully he was actually working. So
what kind of work was he doing though?
That's true. See, but I just prayed for Zeke, so he's covered now. So
gotcha.
We're gonna see at least. All right, so we knew that payday was coming, but this next payday kind of came out of left field right around this time last night. Jared Goff got broke the fuck off last night. The richest guaranteed deal in the NFL history. 4 years, $134 million, with 110 of that fully guaranteed. Man, God is good right there. He got a good. Who's his agent?
I'm not sure. And then how much did he get? Because he was the number one overall pick. So how much did
he already seen real money? You know?
Right. So, what can you say? I mean, we knew he was going to get paid, but it's funny that the deals you don't hear anything about is all done behind the scenes. You don't hear any back and forth negotiating in the media. Those deals get done very smoothly. You don't have a lot of media
coverage. Line of yours? Bad boys move in silence.
Yeah, everybody got to know your moves. So, compared to some other contract disputes we've seen in Dallas, I think this is the right way for the Rams to handle it. In a couple of years, this deal, it'll look average because as the cap continues to rise, there'll be more money out there. Salary cap will go up. What's up?
Because I was just sitting there thinking, like, who would reset it after him? But Mahomes is coming up, so he's gonna probably get 125. So,
man, you got Mahomes. You got Deshaun Watson out there.
Cam in 2 years.
If Cam has another MVP caliber season, you got to put him in that mix. I think you got to put him in that mix.
Full contract.
Anyway, so yeah, I can see
out the water though. Good Lord, what he gonna get?
Right. I can see this kind of like the Jimmy Garoppolo deal. You look at it then, it's like, okay, wow, now Jimmy probably like in the middle, like 8, 9.
Yeah, look at how we was wilding last offseason about Cousins. That money ain't nothing now from what they giving out.
Right. In Minnesota, we just talking about the short deals. Minnesota did 3 years. So if it don't work after this year, they got one more year and they can start looking at something else. Hell, they can go ahead and draft one of these supposed, next NFL franchise guys that's supposed to be coming out next year. They can draft one of them as extra heat on Cousins' ass. After this season, if you don't go the way it should go.
But so that got worked out. You think he's a system guy, or you think? I mean, he's a talented thrower of the football, but
I don't know if I can't say he's a system guy. I think we need to see more because we saw he was so bad with Jeff Fisher, and then McVay and them came along, and it was obvious night and day, which tells me it was all the coaching all along. Now we know it. McVay's got this knack for being a creative offensive genius, air quotes, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that is part of it. But I don't think Jared Goff is bad. I think he's just. This is a lot of money to wrap your head around for somebody so young that's really, I ain't gonna say he hasn't accomplished anything. I mean, he's led a team to the Super Bowl, but we saw what happened when they got to that Super Bowl.
Right.
So,
and truth be told, you remember toward down the stretch that last year, they kind of limped into the playoffs, it seemed like, when Gurley went down and teams was getting that pressure on him and they were forcing him to try to beat him. That shit wasn't working out the way they wanted it to. So,
Right.
that always tends to happen, though. Once teams get tape on you, they're going to try to, make you do. But he's there now. He's locked and loaded. So we're going to definitely see what happens with it.
In addition to Gurley, he lost another main security blanket when Cooper Kupp went down. The offense slowly changed after that. And, I don't think Brandon Cooks is a bad receiver, but to me, he has limitations.
Very much so.
And it changed the dynamics of that offense. So now with another offseason under their belt, I expect that they should be, they should come back strong, and we'll see if we can start living up to this contract.
Last thing about this, when I hit you last night, when we first heard about the deal, I said he was ass in the Super Bowl, and you was like, yeah, his coach was too. So he got something to prove this year too.
Yeah, absolutely, both of them. Proved he wasn't a one-hit wonder, so to speak. So. I think they're gonna be strong.
Yeah, that division's gonna be tight though, so we're gonna see. All right, so Jared Goff is in the same draft class as Carson Wentz, who got paid this summer, who's also in the same draft class as Dakota Prescott. What was Dakota thinking last night when he saw that deal come across the ticker?
Probably started rubbing his hands together like money. Probably did.
This is 2 L's on Jerry, cuz. He could have made his deal before Wentz and before Goff. He could have made that deal. He might have been able to get Dak at like 98. Now you're going to have to come with 112, 115. Oh, damn.
See, this is why I guess I differ a little bit, because I don't think that you necessarily have to come in higher just because Jared Goff got a certain amount. I don't think he has to come in higher.
No, he doesn't.
I know we talked about it, it's been trending that way. But if you look at, I'll say after basically Jimmy Garoppolo got paid, every quarterback that came after that, I think it was Cousins, then Ryan, and Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Ben was somewhere in that mix. You have an argument that all of those guys were better than the last one that got paid and had accomplishments.
Yeah.
Those are vets that already coming off of their first big deal. To me, when you look at Goff and Dak, they both coming off rookie deals, and you got one that was a number 1 overall pick. So obviously his salary increase or raise is going to be more than somebody that was a 4th round pick? Fourth round pick. Not only got that, then Jared Goff and his team has went a little bit further, even though they didn't play good. He's went a little bit further in the playoffs. And if we talk about Dak pretty much needing Zeke to succeed, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm just looking at it from the team perspective. I can try to use that as ammunition to say I don't necessarily have to pay you
they ain't gotta do shit.
Now, I will say this: it definitely has it rose how much probably they wanted to pay him, like you said, about 98 or so. So even if they don't go 112 or 115, which is very possible too, they still got to come up from 98 now. It's not going to be a $10 million gap in that guaranteed money. No. Even if they don't pay him more. So it's still, they're losing a little bit.
I'm not saying they have to do it, but Dak done made it clear all offseason what he wasn't going to take. But truth be told, at this point, with the money they done sent out, why not franchise him for 2 years? 2 years, 70 million, or what, 60 million? You get an idea of what you're going to see. It worked for Cousins. Why not?
Yeah, but does it work out for the team long term? Because we saw what happened to Washington. They essentially ended up losing him.
Yeah,
and never did. They never did pay him. They didn't want to franchise him a third time because then now you look stupid. You could have just signed him to start with.
Yeah. I expect the deal to get done, but that's always the big joker they holding in their back pocket. So at this point, that franchise tag either got Dak's name on it or Amari Cooper, one or the other. Dallas just got to decide which one of them tags they want to pay. Because I don't believe they're going to pay both of them. Now they done paid Zeke. They paid Jalen Smith. They paid Lyle Collins the other day. They done kicked out some bread. So one of them dudes get the tag. One of them just got to see.
Or because I think the Lyle Collins deal actually ended up creating about $4 or $5 million in cap space to help get the Zeke deal done. Yeah. So, and then if they're gonna stretch these deals out longer than what we normally see with deals, then that could help them fit both of them in there some kind of way. It'll take some salary cap juggling and trickery, cooking the book, so to speak. But they may be able to get it done if they're able to do that. So, we'll see. But I am expecting Dak to be next.
Yeah. And that, fourth round, he ain't seen no real money, so I can't blame him for wanting the bag. But I believe they got it for him. Their window is once they pay him, they ain't on rookie deal money no more. They got to win like the next year or two.
Yeah, well, definitely.
So, all right, we can go back to the original order now. On Saturday, we had a lot of deals. I believe that was the last day to finalize the rosters for the NFL. Jadeveon Clowney, we've been talking about him. He has not signed his franchise tag, and as of Saturday, Houston decided to trade him to Seattle for a third-round pick. One dude that's a bust, and one dude that played 16 games and had 3 sacks as a rookie. Some folks say they could have got more for it, but what do you feel about this deal?
I mean,
I don't think they had leverage, to be honest with
you. Yeah. Do they think they can make Markevius Mingo what everybody kind of thought he was going to be? He 94 career games, 10 sacks.
We done seen what he got with 94 games.
And I can't say that I'm familiar with this Jacob Martin cat. I mean, they got a third-round pick out of it. Like you said, it seems like you can get a little bit more out of that. But, I mean, Clowney does got a little bit of an injury history, and I guess that was Houston's concern along with, hell, they can't pay 2 defensive ends $100 million. But
we've been saying for the better part of the year.
I mean, I think this is good for Seattle.
Yeah.
Houston that remains to be seen. Again, they still operate really without a GM, right?
Yeah, Bill's in charge.
Okay, so I mean, his job is really on the line because he's the one making all these calls,
pushing the chips all in the middle of the table.
Like you said, but what really were they going to do though with him holding out, refusing to sign the tag?
And you had to pay. They had no leverage. There was none.
Yeah, man, they got what they got, and hey, move on.
Yeah. And so that trade led to the next move. Seattle traded for Laramie Tunsil from Miami. They traded for him and Kenny Stills. Now, this was interesting. This is pushing your chips in the middle of the table. 2 firsts, a second, and 2 players. They had to protect Deshaun Watson. They had to. But I've been seeing this deal get roasted. But at the end of the day, Deshaun Watson's been sacked 81 times in 2 seasons. That's absurd.
Yeah,
that's absurd.
Because when I heard about the Seattle deal, because I think the Seattle deal went down before the Laramie Tunsil deal, and I was on vacation, so I was kind of in and out with the news. But I saw that, and the first thing I said was, "Well, Houston needs some offensive line help." I was like, "Well, wait a minute, they damn sure ain't getting no offensive line help from Seattle. So what did they get?" Right. And now I'm seeing what they got. The Texans getting Laramie Tunsil, I mean, I think he's been pretty solid with Miami.
Yeah, from what I heard, I was trying to find his ranking as far as offensive linemen. I wasn't able to locate it, but he's supposed to be one of the better ones, and he's young.
So him and Kenny Stills get the hell out of Miami, get to go to Houston, and Houston gives up 2 firsts, a second, and 2 players. That is a hell of a lot.
That is.
For Kenny Stills, and even though Laramie Tunsil's been solid, that's still a lot.
Ain't Kenny Stills William Fuller? Ain't they the same?
It does seem that way, right?
Yeah. I mean, they almost look alike too. So
yeah, we're gonna see where they're going with that.
So, but I think it was about protecting Deshaun Watson. You know who I think this puts more pressure on? J.J. Watt. You know, you let a young first walk out the door, so he got to stay healthy and hold it down. You got to. They're gonna have to pay him probably this summer.
Yeah, and I think he had. We'll see if he's able to return back to the JJ before Jadeveon got there, because last year I think Watt had 16 sacks.
Yeah, he balled last 2 years.
Give or take, but you still had to respect Clowney on that other side. Right. I think he had 9.5 or 10 sacks. Clowney did. Yeah. So now with Clowney gone, now we're going to see if JJ Watt can still give you 12, 13, 14, 15 sacks with no beast on the other side to take away some of that pressure.
I was looking at cats who got paid this summer, and because Seattle has to come up with some money for Clowney. Clowney's sack numbers are pretty much in line with these dudes, but most of them were drafted in the second round. But he went number 1 overall. I keep hearing, the debates last week was, he's underachieved. Do you think he's underachieved so far in his career? Number 1 overall?
I don't. I think what has happened with Clowney is he had the injury. He sat out pretty much all his senior year.
Yeah.
At South Carolina.
Basically.
And then his first year, he was pretty much hurt. I think what people still are looking at that perception of him. If we look at how he balled, because to me, he balled when J.J. Watt sat out.
Yeah,
J.J. Watt was injured. To me, he balled. You know what I'm saying? Again, just like most people, even with J.J. Watt, your best ability is availability. As long as Clowney on the field, Clowney producing.
Everything doesn't come up for Seattle, quite frankly, because you think about it, they picked up Jadeveon Clowney and Ziggy Ansah and drafted a pass rusher with the first rounder they got for Frank Clark. They're gonna be on people's asses this coming season. To
go with the young pieces they had outside of Frank Clark, but go with the other young pieces they had, especially in the secondary. Last year when that defense was starting to kind of get back right.
So that makes me happy because that means they're gonna be all over Jimmy G's ass all year long.
Oh, man, they still got to come out there and play, baby. We're gonna be all over Russell Wilson's ass. Please believe
it. That's true.
This the NFC West division might become a division where, hey man,
everybody good pass rushing our division.
These defensive lines in this division.
Yeah,
I don't know where Arizona got going, but
they got old man Suggs, but then they also got what's Chandler Jones? He balled last year,
right?
So they get another young one. Everybody got a good pair of DNs that's gonna rush.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I think Chandler Jones led the league in sacks year before last, if I'm not mistaken. And New England said we don't need you.
Yeah. Well, then on top of him going in the police station naked, high.
Oh yeah, we seem to forget about that, don't we?
That's crazy. Anyway, all right. Last thing about Houston, we know Lamar Miller got hurt about 2 weeks ago, and they traded for a low round pick for Carlos Hyde. It ain't sexy, but Carlos Hyde's not terrible. He's only played like 5 years, but he has been traded and released from a lot of teams over the last 2 or 3 years. So, but it's about 250 touches available for him on this team. So we're gonna see what happens because that run game ain't gonna mean nothing. I mean that you're gonna need a run game to balance out that play action. So.
Yeah, I like this. I like this trade. I don't know what they sent out for Carlos Hyde, but I like this trade for Houston. Like they said, to me he's gonna be better than what Lamar Miller was. Maybe he's a year or two older, but I like Carlos Hyde when he was with us in San Francisco. Yeah. I just think he's ended up on a couple teams where the fit wasn't necessarily what was needed. Right. So I think he can. I think he can get back on track with him and Deshaun Watson. I like that.
Yeah.
Because Chip Kelly was it Chip Kelly that tried to run some of that read option type with the quarterback and him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see what happens with that. All right. Last few stories we got here. Reports are that Trent Williams will report back to Washington next week after his trade request has been rebuffed by the team. Boy, Washington normally known for being some suckers, but they played this shit raw here. They was like, yeah, if he gonna play for us. That's that.
Hey, they took that same approach on it. Remember you was talking about Robbie Gould to me? I said Robbie Gould kicks for us, so he kicks for no one.
Yeah.
They put their foot down because they know they need somebody to protect Dwayne Haskins.
Absolutely. That, not to go backwards, but that just lets you know that Dallas think they can win the whole thing this year. Because if they were terrible everywhere else, Zeke got 2 years left, really 5 if you count the tag. They wouldn't have gave into this situation if they didn't think they could win this year. So
very good point.
But yeah, Trent Williams coming back, that'll be solid for whoever's playing quarterback in DC. I believe they started with Keenum, I believe.
Hey man, we missed an important signing.
Which one?
Nah, man. Shout out to Jacoby Brissett, man. He got him a little small. He got him a little small bag, 2 years, $30 million. Hey,
why you shitting on that man's bag?
I ain't sitting on that man's bag. I'm not. because that's a good 30 million. That's 30 million that he would not have got had Andrew Luck still been there. And also, it's only 2 years. If they lose and they don't go anywhere, nobody's gonna blame him because this season basically he got a mulligan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then next
Well,
year
if
is the
they
last
suck,
year.
if they suck, they'll probably have a decent draft pick. It's supposed to be 4 or 5 dudes allegedly. But you think Big Jim came to him with this like, let's get this done today, right now? What you gonna do? He ain't seen real money like this.
I'm signing. Like I said, it was money I was not expecting. It's like finding a scratch off.
Yeah, he won the lottery in that regard. But yeah, I totally passed that. Shout out to you. What else we got? Oh, this Melvin Gordon thing. This here, this is
becoming some fuckery right here.
Yeah, because his situation fucked him. I don't think San Diego's fucked, but with Jordan Howard's name coming up in the situation for Philly when they just signed him, how that make him feel? You know,
right?
So, what I'm speaking on, people, is Melvin Gordon. Allegedly, there was one team out there trying to trade for him. Now, the Chargers were asking for a 1st and a 5th round pick for a dude that they refused to pay over $10 million, which makes no sense whatsoever. But there was a team that came in, the Philadelphia Eagles. They offered to trade their newly traded for a running back, Jordan Howard, and I think swap middle round picks to get Melvin Gordon. And the Chargers was like, no. Please tell me, if you don't want to pay the dude, how can you ask for a 1st and a 5th?
That's crazy. You might as well pay him if that's what you think he worth.
I hit you Monday, I believe. I was like, well, they done came out and said, we ain't negotiating no more. What is he going to do? Because he got to come back by at least week 10. They can throw the tag on him if they want to. Why don't he just go back to work at this point? You're not proving anything. They going if they're telling you they're not going to negotiate during the season, they probably going to hold up their end on them fines. So why won't you just go back to work?
Yeah, at this point, you might as well come on back. Camp is over. We're looking at week 1. I mean, is he free after this year, supposedly?
Yeah.
Or he got 1 year. They can tag him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's thinking they won't tag him because that'll be the same money he's asking for if he get tagged, right?
Yeah, that's 1 year though.
Well, just 1 year. Okay. Maybe he holding out on that.
Yeah, he got to be doing. He got to be doing that. But we said it. He had the right one. San Diego. I forgot that dude's name. AJ Smith. He's gone, but his legacy lives on. They don't get punked by players in San Diego.
Not at all.
That does not happen. You can try this mess other places, but not with I keep saying San Diego. They're the LA Chargers. My bad. It doesn't work with them. So, Melvin, you sit at home and need to go ahead and go to work. Well, I think the trade deadline in the NFL is in October, so maybe they move him at some point then. Maybe.
Yeah.
So
I don't see an end to this one in sight.
No time soon. No time. Speaking of fines, I was tied up all day today until you sent me the situation with Antonio Brown. I didn't watch Hard Knocks last night. Did you catch it?
I watched it, but I didn't even bother finishing it. It was just blah.
Yeah. That last episode normally is blah. I wonder if the Doss boy got cut.
He did.
Oh, he did? Okay.
He did, but he got picked right up by like before he can get to the parking lot, to the car, he got picked up by Tennessee, I think it was.
Okay. Yeah, they can use him. But I can't say that. Tennessee is like the place that wide receivers go to die.
You know.
That's horrible.
Maybe him and Tannehill will have a connection. Did they name a starter?
I think it's Mariota.
Okay. I guess he got to get the first shot.
3 weeks. He'll go out there and throw some picks, probably get hurt. So
who they play this week? Ravens. Yeah.
He'll get hurt this game. He'll get hurt. Okay. So, but yeah, man, I don't blame them for going after the bread from Antonio. I don't blame them. They got to set a standard at some point.
Right.
So we gonna see what happens. I think.
Yeah, him. Whenever you the letter that you get about your fine from the general manager, probably not a good idea. So I'm pretty sure he'll have some type of reprimand, probably, or some kind of talk coming from that. They can, if they want to, they can fine him for conduct detrimental for the team
Right
just for doing that dumb shit. So
hey,
AB gonna AB. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen come week one, man. Derek Carr and this hookup with him and Derek Carr. We're gonna see how that's go. That's gonna go because ultimately that's gonna be the telltale sign of how this relationship is gonna go.
yeah. Looking at your shirt, why didn't they feature? Did Vontaze Burfict say a word on Hard Knocks this year?
I saw one clip. I remember one clip of him when AB got back to camp, kind of saying what's up. But yeah, no, he definitely wasn't featured.
Yeah. So,
Very surprising. They were too busy on AB and Chucky.
That's it. It was just them two.
Yeah.
Everybody else's background. All right, you ready to get to these season predictions?
Yeah, we can go and get to those.
Oh, well, this is a college football story. What'd you think about Jalen Hurts over the weekend?
Oh, I didn't watch that game. I saw a clip of somebody that somebody put up to prove that he's a good passer, and it consisted of like a little
broken play,
like a little 2-yard dump off, a slant that the receiver took to the house the rest of the way, and then a touchdown where there was not a defender within 13 yards of the receiver because of a broken coverage. So I don't know.
Yeah, he had a solid game. Sunshine he didn't look as he's expected to against Georgia Tech last week. We're talking about the quarterback from Clemson. He went 13 of 23 or 10, 23, something like that. But it's early. Clemson won, and that running back they got, that little dude raw.
One for Clemson. Okay.
Yeah, he's raw. Anyway, a little bit of college football. Keep your head up, Willie Taggart. You ain't gonna be there long, but keep your head up, cuz. All right, let's get to these season predictions. You got yours together? Because I don't have mine together at this point. I'm working on it as we talk.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. The only thing, Super Bowl predictions. Right now, if you had to ask me, I'd say Chiefs versus Chiefs versus. I say Chiefs Eagles.
That's what I got.
Score might be in the hundreds.
I couldn't think of another team in the NFC that
NFC
could get there and have a chance.
It's just so many possibilities, and that's what makes it good. You don't have kind of like AFC. You probably thinking Chiefs or Patriots, one of the two. You know what I'm saying? We throw Pittsburgh in there depending on how they going, but that NFC, man, you got the Saints, you got your Panthers, Green Bay, the Falcons, Minnesota. The Bears, Minnesota. Like I said, Philly. You got so many teams in there.
See, you ain't even mentioned the Rams. Why do we keep overlooking them? I think I asked you this last week. We just keep. They went to the Super Bowl last year. But,
well, I omitted them not by mistake because I picked them to. Actually picked them to win the division.
Okay, gotcha.
So we'll see. Yeah, there's so many teams from the NFC. The NFC can go either way.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that was my teams that I picked for the Super Bowl as well, and I think I would pick KC to win it if they get there. That seemed like that would be poetic justice for Andy Reid to beat Philly for his first Super Bowl.
Correct.
That would be dope. That'd be a story. MVP, I'm gonna reach backwards. I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers.
That's a good one. I want to say Aaron. I'm trying to think of somebody else. I probably would have said Luck, but he's not playing.
He probably at the crib playing Tetris.
I know Mahomes won last year, right? I know he won last year, but I'm gonna say him for right now.
That'd be pretty dope if he repeats his MVP 2 out of his first 3 years.
Right.
That'd be pretty dope.
Defensive player of the year. I'm not gonna go with the obvious choice of Donald. I'm gonna say Man, give me I'm trying to pick between Von Miller and Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Von because I think he can probably put up very big sack numbers. Because if Bradley Chubb improves off what he did last season, Von Miller's gonna be unguardable on the other side.
I'm taking that one back. I don't want Khalil Mack. I'm gonna step outside the box. He trying to get paid. He showed up in a Brinks truck. Give me Jalen Ramsey.
For defensive player of the year,
He's gonna have to have over 6 picks, maybe a return or two. I can see. I mean, they got to return to what they were doing. The defense has to do better than what they did last year. Them dudes laid down last year, so I'm expecting them to ball. Hell,
He's gonna have to have probably 10, 12 plus picks.
Okay.
That's I like that. That's sexy.
Well, I was about to say, what's his career high in picks? He ain't played but a couple years, probably 5. People don't even throw at him. So I might be wrong on that. Ain't nobody throwing at him. So, but that's outside the box. So
yeah, we'll see. Absolutely, we'll see. Rookie of the year. I'm sitting here now trying to think of.
I'm trying to think who.
Because it's usually somebody in the top drafted high because they get kind of a head start because they drafted high. He is behind that line. I'm gonna have to hold tight on that.
They're gonna be behind a whole lot of games, so they'll probably be behind 21 points. So he'll get to put up good numbers, but they'll be behind. So
yeah, I'm trying to think of somebody that's gonna be able to possibly be on a better winning team and still put up good numbers.
Old boy in Chicago, the running back David Montgomery.
Okay. I don't know about the
work for him. They got rid of Jordan Howard, so there is work in that Chicago's Kansas City offense with Nagy. So he could do some damage. So we'll see.
Very true. A lot of options.
And comeback player of the year, I'm gonna say Cam Newton.
I got Lev Bell.
Yeah, either one of them was solid.
Yeah. Now, I guess there's really no because Cam played last year. Like, would he qualify?
That's true. He was just terrible. I guess you have to be hurt. I mean, down the stretch he was, but I guess you have to be injured in order to get that. Because I know Peyton was out that year, Luck was out, so he was just hurt. So they probably wouldn't give it to him. But
they did that. But I feel I know where you're going with it. They need an award. And maybe we can just do this award. Matter of fact, we will. Yeah, exactly. Like a bounce back or most improved or ball better than what they did last year, comeback, something like that. So yeah, we'll do that on our own. Yeah, there you go, people, right there on the fly. We added an award.
Bingo. All right, ready to get to these picks?
Yes, sir. Let's do this. Tomorrow night, again, the Packers will be going into Soldier Field to take on the Bears. Mitch Trubisky and company. We know about the vaunted Bears defense. The Packers got an improved defense. Now, Aaron Rodgers has not played a single snap this preseason, if I'm not mistaken. Will there be rust?
I hope he does.
I think I saw a video of him today, and he did cut it because this shit's horrible if he hasn't cut it. But I'm taking the Bears to win at home opening night.
Give me Green Bay. Shake up the world.
All right, next up.
He could very well get his collarbone shattered tomorrow. So
we know how that goes, right? Oh, man, please don't let another Green Bay season go up in smoke off of Aaron Rodgers' injury. And it's really only collarbones, right, with him?
It's always collarbones. Yeah. Always. Collarbone, elbow.
Yeah.
Collarbones.
Something with upper extremities. First up, you got your Panthers hosting the Rams. 1:00 game on Sunday. I'm not sure how Cam's gonna look week 1 coming off of the ankle injury. He is scheduled to start, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, he came out today, said he's good. He's blessed. He's ready to go.
Okay. I'm gonna take the defending NFC champs in this one, come on the road, and win in your house. I know you're gonna take the Panthers.
Yeah, we're gonna shake up the world. Yes, sir.
Okay. What any particular plan or
I think our defense is going to step clean up. I really
Gotcha.
think it is. You know,
Makes sense.
I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. I really don't. I'm thinking maybe 21-14, 21-17. But
Okay.
Cam going to have to be on the move. But I think our defense is going to show something this week.
There you go. All right, that's what's up.
So we're gonna see.
All right. Next up, we got an NFC East divisional matchup, week 1. Got the Washington Redskins. Who is starting?
Keenum.
Case Keenum will be starting, and they'll be going into Philly to take on the Eagles. I don't have much on this game. I got the Eagles.
Philly.
All right. Next up, got Sam Darnold. Le'Veon Bell's first game in 600 plus days or whatever, however many it's been. I think they beat Josh Allen and the Bills coming in, but I think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah. If your number one wide receivers are Beasley and John Brown and wild ass Zay Jones, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what you're gonna do. Give me the Jets.
All right. Next up, and this could possibly be one of the better games of the week, especially in this 1:00 slot. We got the Falcons going into Minnesota to take on Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. I like what I've seen from Dalvin Cook this preseason. We already know what Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen brings to the table. What you got on this game? Can the Falcons come in there and take this one week 1?
I'm gonna take Minnesota at home.
Okay.
That's gonna be a good game though, because you got what's the corner? Xavier Rhodes and Julio matched up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Devontae gonna have to run against that defensive front of Minnesota. That's gonna be a good game right there.
Yeah, I'm taking the Falcons. I think the defense actually ends up being a telltale sign. I think they get Kirk Cousins to get some of his vaunted turnovers. Defensive line has looked good all preseason to me, and they got the secondary back intact. So I got the Falcons to go in to the Vikings and win, but it's not going to be easy. Definitely not going to be easy. Marcus Trufant going to have to play a whole lot better. Otherwise, whoever he's checking, whether it be Thielen or Diggs, can do some damage real quick.
Yeah. Man, we 4 games apart. We just got started. Good Lord.
Already. All right, next up, we got the Baltimore Ravens going into Miami to take on the Dolphins. Who you got in this one?
You mean them tanking Dolphins? Give me Lamar. Give me Lamar. And Baltimore.
Yeah, it's so obvious that the Dolphins are tanking. Yeah, I got the Ravens as well. Well, I'm interested to see if Lamar and Hollywood Brown, the boy from Oklahoma, Antonio Brown's cousin, can hook up on some deep balls over the course of this year. So let's see how they start off.
He said that he gonna throw the ball 30 times a game. How many times?
That's what he said. 17.
I'm gonna give him around even 20.
Yeah, 15 to 20 somewhere there, depending on how the game going. Next up, got the Jaguars hosting the the Kansas City Chiefs. This could possibly be a good game as well. I'm interested to see how, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but I'm interested to see how the Jaguars play the Chiefs receivers, whether they're going to put Jalen Ramsey on Tyreek Hill or whether they decide to bracket Tyreek Hill and use Jalen Ramsey to shut down, say, a Sammy Watkins or your number 2. Hell, they could possibly even put him on in some packages, possibly put him on Kelsey, because Jalen Ramsey is a little bit bigger. So this could go either way, but I'm taking the Chiefs.
Coach came out already, said he's gonna follow.
He following Tyreek?
Tyreek.
Okay.
This could be an L, but I'm gonna jump off that cliff early. They at home. They played them hard last year. Right. Remember, they should have won that game in Kansas City. Foles gonna pull out that magic. They gonna
and the Chiefs, they still seem to be having some defensive wise. They still seem to be having some problems. But some of the same problems that they had last year seem to still be there in preseason. And so we're going to see exactly how their defense is going to play and whether Nick Foles can take advantage of some things. So it sounds like you're taking the Jags.
Yeah, give me the Jags.
All right, I'm taking the.
We didn't talk about it during the transactions, but what you think Shady got left? LaShawn McCoy signed with the Chiefs. You got anything to you?
Yeah, I give him somewhere between 800 and 900 yards this year, 7 touchdowns.
Okay. I mean, like you said, if he can't get it done in this offense, you know,
Right.
he take it
Right.
on to the house because we can't get it done with these dudes. So, all right, my bad.
Oh, no, you good. Next up, we got the Mariota-led Tennessee Titans going into Cleveland to take on Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Nick Chubb, Kitchens, the whole crew, Myles
The
Garrett.
Super Bowl team, the offseason
Hey,
champs.
I'm expecting the Cleveland faithful, the dog pound, to be out there in full effect. They probably start tailgating Saturday. I'm expecting the Browns to come out and win this game. If all the shit that they've been talking all season, you want to be this, you want to be that, you got to come out and beat Tennessee at home, right?
They got to. It wouldn't surprise me though. It wouldn't surprise me. And come Monday, the world be the sky be done fell. They lose to Mariota and Tennessee's defense. They ain't no suckers at
Exactly,
all. So
exactly. And Baker and the weapons have not played together preseason,
nope.
so hey, it could definitely be a down week. But I'm gonna take Cleveland in this one as well.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we got the now Jacoby Brissett-led Colts going into LA to take on Phillip Rivers and the Chargers, even without Derwin James, even without Melvin Gordon. I think Jacoby Brissett is nice. He's solid, but I still got the Chargers in this game.
Yeah. I don't like the way this season is going so far for them. Russell Okung is out with injury. What's the safety they picked up last year who was good? Chargers. Old boy from Florida State.
Yeah, Derwin James.
I'm sorry, you did mention. Yeah, he's out. You got Melvin Gordon now. So this seems like it's starting the way a lot of their seasons used to, with people getting hurt or not being there. But they're going to win this game. They're going to beat them. This lets you know, I saw it on TV the other day, and it was a good point. Shannon was saying how if Dallas knew they had something in Dak, they wouldn't even be stressing getting Zeke back out there. The Chargers know they got a good quarterback that can win some games without that running game and Phillip Rivers. They know that. So, but yeah, give me the Chargers in this.
All right, next up, we got the Cincinnati Bengals going cross country more or less to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. In Seattle, I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle.
The Bengals will be in that running with the Dolphins. I'm assuming Dolphins, probably Giants for number one pick.
AJ Green should get traded in October. You need to have a healthy game, and you need to walk in that office and say, "Hey, I respectfully would like to leave this place."
I don't even think he's playing these first couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's not. They said that they'll probably get him back week 3.
Okay.
But yeah, I wouldn't need. You know what? I'd go ahead and clear my lockout. Like, you know what? Send me somewhere.
Anywhere. Next up, we got my 49ers. We starting on the road this year. A decent road game that I think is very winnable for us. Of course, I'm picking us, but that's half homer, half. I really think that we can go down to Tampa Bay and win that game. Now, Jameis and Bill Arians, we're going to see what kind of changes that they've made to Jameis's game. If Jameis can just stop with the turnovers, Jameis
he'd be awesome.
Is an above average talent. He's just got to stop with the damn turnover.
He just throws the ball away too much.
Yeah.
But give me Dabu,
Jameson, no.
All right.
I need to see what y'all look like. This will be a good little road test starting off.
Yeah. I think we got a first few games are pretty, I think, obtainable. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we can get some confidence going for our boy Jimmy G. Next up, another divisional matchup. This will probably be the one that'll be on TV since I'm seeing a Fox game in the 425 slot. The New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, can your boy Eli go into Dallas in prime time and beat the Cowboys, the vaunted roster with all the high-priced players? Can Eli go in there and do it one more time just to show y'all he maybe lost it all the way?
Eli has to do it. He has to. I think it's a 6-game audition, dog.
Okay.
I really do. If they go 1-5, 2-4, they're gonna put Jones in. So Eli needs to play this out. He needs the ball.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
honestly,
they need
can
to
you
be.
blame them if they did put him in? Can you blame them?
No, not if they start off like you just said, 2-4, 1-5. No, because it's either going to be that, or once they lose to the point where they're out of playoff contention, then he's definitely coming in.
Yeah.
So if it starts off bad, especially if Philly and the Cowboys get off to good starts, you put yourself in that, in that hole. Then you might as well go ahead and put the young
first 6?
Giants. I don't know. We're gonna see, but
let me pull it up. But yeah, I'm gonna take Dallas in that game though.
Okay, so both. Yeah, I'm taking Dallas as well. I like Saquon, but I don't think he's gonna be able to do it by his damn self.
That's the thing that's interesting to me. I know fantasy's not real football, but everybody's like, he's going the ball. Who the hell are you concerned with on the outside? I mean, he had Odell there last year. They don't have Odell this year. I'm putting everything on the line. If it's me.
Yeah, but I think what he can do in the passing game is, if you're talking fantasy wise, I think that'll make up for it.
Okay, so first 6 games. So I figure they're gonna lose to Dallas. Second game, they got Buffalo at home. They should win that game. They go down to Tampa. That should be a loss, but they can win that game as well. They got the Redskins next game. They could win that game. After that, they got the Vikings and the Patriots. They can win 3 of them games.
Yeah. So we'll see. And if they do, you'll see Eli in there until after the holidays, more than likely.
Yeah, they're not making the playoffs. So.
All right. Let's go ahead and finish up these last few. So we got the Detroit Lions going into Arizona to take on the Kyler Murray and Clint Kingsbury, Larry Fitzgerald, and the Cardinals. I don't think the Lions will win many games this year, but I'm taking them to win this one.
Yeah, they're going to win this game because Patrick Peterson's on his suspension too. So, Detroit should air the ball out now.
Right. Absolutely. All right, Sunday night game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers going into the Patriots to take on Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. What you got, man, on this one?
I like that setup you just threw at me too. You want me to jump off that cliff first, but I'm not gonna do it.
Oh man, it don't matter. I'm taking the Patriots.
I wanted to take Pittsburgh because it seemed like that would be a good statement game, but I don't believe they're gonna walk in there and beat them. I'm a little bit concerned, but in regards to the weapons and what they got, because N'Keal Harry's on IR, so you basically depending on Josh Gordon, Bebe's healthy, Julian Edelman, and whoever they got at tight end, but I think they're gonna run the ball a lot more than anything. So,
and mind you, they cut Bebe and then had to bring him back once Harry went on IR. So, we'll see. But I expect them to lean on Sony Michel and Burkhead on their run game probably a little bit more than expected this first week, especially since Josh Gordon and Bebe, some of these dudes are still really trying to work their way. Edelman still trying to really work their way in for missing most of the first half of camp.
Right. So, yeah, taking Patriots.
All right. Monday night games for, of course, the first week of the season. We always got 2. First game, 7 o'clock Monday, by the way, people. Not at 8 or 9 o'clock start, 7 o'clock on Monday. Got the Texans going into New Orleans to take on the Saints. Now, I'm taking the Saints, but it seems like for the last couple of years, the first couple of games, the Saints lose to teams that they shouldn't lose to. I think it was Tampa Bay last year. It was Cincinnati last year. I think the year before that it was Tampa. So you, especially at home, so you have to keep an eye out for that. Anybody going to their bookie or whatever, keep an eye out for that. But I'm taking the Saints in this game.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Saints at home.
Okay.
It would be dope to see Deshaun go in there on that stage and win that game. It'd be dope, but we're gonna see.
Absolutely. It could be a tone setter for the Texans. They need a little positivity coming in through there right now. All right, and then the last game don't start to 10:30 Monday night, people. So hey, unless you're a fan of one of these teams, good luck. I'm going to have to treat it like I treat West Coast basketball.
Yeah.
Our first half, and then we'll see how it go after that.
Yeah.
But we got the Broncos going into Oakland to take on the Raiders. All the drama, all the story, all these soap opera shit from the off season is gone. It's time to play some fucking football. Do Derek Carr, Antonio Brown, John Gruden and company hold down home field advantage? The last season that they'll be in Oakland, by the way. Do they beat Joe Flacco and new coach Vic Fangio in the Broncos?
I'm gonna take Denver in this game.
Damn it.
I feel like, Flacco wasn't great last year, but that line wasn't good. He didn't have many weapons. He gets Emmanuel Sanders back. They drafted a tight end. And I gotta see it with Oakland. I don't their defense, I gotta see it. I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but I think, Flacco gonna get it done.
I got to see, like you said, I got to see Oakland's defense. I have to see Derek Carr and Antonio Brown be able to hook up consistently. I like what Bradley Chubb and Von Miller bring pass rush wise, and I like Lindsey running the ball in the backfield for the Broncos as well. So I got the Broncos in this game also. The Raiders got to show me something. The Raiders got to show me something. Basically, they got to show me something.
Need to see.
Yeah, because I damn sure didn't see it on Hard Knocks.
No, sir. All right, man. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 games apart. I come in 3-2 next week. I'm gonna feel good about myself.
I got 4.
I took Tampa, the Vikings, the Jags, Green Bay, and Carolina.
Did you take the Packers?
Yeah, I took Green Bay.
Yeah, so I got you taking Packers, Panthers, Vikings, Jags, and the Bay. Bucks. That's 5. Okay, you're tricky.
Yeah, so
okay.
I come in 3-2. I feel good. Now I could come in 0-5.
Likewise, like I say, you know how I am these first couple of weeks of the season. That it take me a little while to get my footing, but we're gonna see. I feel good about these. We'll see. A lot of games that could go either way.
Yeah, it's a whole lot this week. I think the storylines are gonna be so dope this coming Tuesday. Well, really Monday, because if the Browns lose that game, and they the offseason champions, everybody been talking. Oh my God, that'll be interesting. Hell, if Pittsburgh goes into Foxborough and wins on Sunday night without AB and that bullshit, boy, that'll be something. So it's some good storylines. I'm just glad to have it back, man. Glad to have it back.
Absolutely. All right, people. It seemed like it was something I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember what it was, so it'll have to wait.
Yes, sir.
But we appreciate y'all tuning in as always. Again, this is episode 185, NFL Week 1 picks. We'll see y'all on next week. We're probably going to do 2 shows next week, and for the remainder of the season, we'll probably be doing a show on Tuesday to do a recap of the previous week, and then on Thursday, probably right before the Thursday night games, is where we'll do our picks for the upcoming week. And that'll be a short show, real quick, just to get those picks out there. So more episodes and everything, more content continuing to come. And when basketball season roll around, especially with this basketball season playing on looking like, your boys are gonna have to put in some work here, and very soon. We done had some time off. Pretty much. Yeah. Doing the training camp stuff, and basketball been down for a while, but we're gonna have to wrap this thing full-fledged here in a minute again. So we are glad to do it for y'all. As long as y'all keep enjoying the content that we bring in, I think it's gonna be a good time to party. Yes, sir. Uncle Hey, before we get up out of here, man, tell these people where to reach you at on social media.
At RK6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, you can find me at Diego Barish. I'm on Twitter. You can find us on the AA Sportscast Facebook page, the IG page, the Twitter page, and it's another page. But continue to watch, like, and hit those subscribe buttons on YouTube, Apple iTunes, and the Spreaker platform. Shout out to the Urban Arena crew, glassing them over at Get With It Sports. JB and Big Q over at Big Team Boy TV. Shout out to Kanan Ice as well. We'll holler at y'all next week. Again, baby, it's AA Sports, straight sports, no chasers. Y'all be good. Have a great weekend. We up out of here. Peace.